What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today this is probably I think it's all gonna be one video, but I'm gonna do it in different sections. Let me show you guys what's going on here. Guys can probably tell from the title, we've got the whole pressure washer set up. They're gonna be setting up over here in the shop. So earlier, I guess actually last week now it was, I had a couple guys from Almighty Plumbing. They came out here, hooked up all of the piping, ran it all the way across over the door, back down over here, and the fitting is right in there where it's going to come out. The whole pressure washer unit system is going to be set up right there. We've got everything kind of laid out over here so far. The crandall's still in the box. This is actually incredibly heavy. I'm really surprised how heavy that is. We got some reinforcement we're going to be doing behind the wall there. More to come on that very shortly. Quick run through and everything. We got the caulk screw, about the whole setup pretty much, other than the spotless system, which I've already had, except this little bracket right here, which is actually going to mount to the wall because the one right there is made for a freestanding unit. And funny story in this too, guys, real quick. CR Spotless, the spotless water systems are literally 2 miles down the road from me. They're the whole shop and everything. So whenever I need refills, I just run down there and get that. On the way, I was on my way home this evening, stopped in there. I literally just barely got that within a minute's time of them closing. I was walking up as they were walking out the door. So just barely got that this evening so I can actually start on this project tonight. All the plates and everything right here, the Mosmatic wand holder, caulk reel, pressure washer unit, all the piping and fitting in here. We got this 100-foot pressure washer hose. I'm probably not going to be using this. I might actually post it up for sale if any of you guys are interested. Let me know. I'm probably going to be getting rid of this here pretty quick. I actually have a 50-foot hose, and all my wash is going to be done just on the other side of this door. Having the unit mounted right there is kind of counterproductive to have a 100-foot hose and all that pressure built up in the hose just sitting there. So probably I use my old 50-foot hose, which is 4,000 PSI rated. Same thing as this right here, except it's gray and it's 50-foot versus this right here, it's 100-foot and it's blue. So if anyone's interested in this, let me know. I'm probably gonna post up on the forums about that as well. So if you guys are interested, there it is right there. Without further ado, guys, we're gonna jump right into the project. Oh, and real quick, look who just decided to show up to help out. This is just right now, perfect timing. So this is my dad right here, guys. He's a little bit more handy than me when it comes to this kind of stuff. So he's gonna be assisting, setting up everything, putting in the drywall, the boards and everything. I can handle this myself, but it's more of the plumbing stuff that he'll be helping out with. And then we're gonna have to relocate this outlet here up a little bit higher for the system itself. So. So quick update on what is happening here, guys. We have a wall that has 2x6s in it. We have 2x4s right behind it, which are gonna be where these boards, this is plywood, it's 3/4 inch thick. That will go right in this groove right here. Will be drilled into the 2x4s, just like so. Basically have a solid backing. The sheetrock will go on top of there, and this nice solid backing is what's gonna support the whole pressure washer system itself. All right, we have now finished up the hats up job here with the sheetrock. Got it all screwed in. Still got the mud it and texture everything. Now working on this little section over here. We have a little door, which is this guy right here, and a little cover that goes on it. Just pops in there. This guy is going to sit up in here, just like that. So this little section will be open right here, and then the sheetrock will be in this other area right here. So right now we're measuring for the sheetrock to go in that little section right there. All right, wrapping up for the evening today, guys. Quick recap of what we were able to get done tonight is we got this nice little cover right here. Got everything blocked off, measured, and that will go nicely in there. There's a little, when this is actually closed right now, so when this is open, it'll be up, and then the cover will go on here nicely once this is all mudded and everything will get textured, so that's going to be a project in itself. But for the time being, this will end up going on there. We still have the sheetrock to do on the upper half there. We have, let's see, this guy down here we got done this evening. So we got this all blocked off. I have to mud and kind of fill this in right here, this little gap on the edge. This is all kind of done cleanly in here as much as we could. I would have liked this to stick out just a hair more, but unfortunately it's not. So kind of wing it with that. That's gonna wrap up today. I'll be back soon for part 2 of this. So now here we're at the beginning stages of assembling everything right here. I've already gotten all of the piping aligned here, got everything cut, got everything kind of fitted in here. Now let me show you guys real quick of how I am cutting the pipe and getting everything lined up. This is actually a 4-inch piece in here, believe it or not. So it actually extends pretty far on both sides. I still have to snug everything up so you can see there. But let me show you guys how everything is getting snugged up here. So I've taken this nice little pipe cutter right here, mounted in the vise. I've got my mark lined up right here, and I'm getting that great forearm workout by sitting here and turning this over and over and over again to get a nice little cut piece. Once the piece has been cut, I'm using this nice little X-Acto knife here to trim the inside edge of it and clean it all up. I assure you guys, this is not as fun as it looks. Okay guys, okay, I am very embarrassed about this. But remember how just a few minutes ago I was talking about using this lovely little X-Acto knife to kind of clean out the inside edge of the piping here? Well, this little tool actually comes with it and helps you clean it out. I didn't notice it because it was at the bottom of the box. I'm like going through grabbing the piping and the fittings and stuff out. I'm like, what's this little piece that's in here? And would you imagine that? Look how nice it cleans it up. So anyways, needless to say, we are almost done with all the pipe cutting, and I just figured that out, guys. I mean, I'm like, why did I do this? I should have dug in the box more and fell here at the bottom, but what are you gonna do? We're almost done with all the pipe cutting that is. We still have to mount the reel as well as the, what is that? Oh my gosh, I'm playing with these late, guys. The table, the shelf for the pressure washer. We still got to mount that up here. And then, we'll probably be calling it a night before we get all that done. But we'll see how we feel here in a few. All right, we just finished up fully installing the pipes. We did a little pressure system test before we are going to continue on from here. So what we did for the system pressure test here is we closed off these 2 valves first, right there and there. Loaded the system up with pressure, flowing through here, made sure everything flowed through nicely, clean out anything in the system. Once we did that, we closed this valve off, pressure tested for these first couple fittings right in here. Everything was good to go on that. So we then opened this one right here, pressure tested this system right here, filled up these canisters. Everything was good, no leaks or anything like that. We then opened up this one, let everything flow through here all the way out. Get this one off, of course. Everything went good. So let's see. Yes, we pressurized that everything was good to go. So now that all this is ready to rock and roll, we're gonna mount up the shelf and the reel itself for the hose. And then tomorrow I'll be fitting all this up right here. It's late, so we're gonna get the shelf or the reel up, the shelf, and then tomorrow I'll finish up the little bits right here. And we got a little helper here. Her name is Faith. She is an awesome dog and she loves belly rubs. But yeah, she's the shop helper now. And she's falling asleep on me. All right, back to work. show you guys the progress we made. And now we made a bunch of progress. I'm very happy with how everything is coming together and everything's kind of fitting here on it. DI system, all the pipe and everything is good to go on that. We now have the reel here mounted up. One thing I did do here on the reels I customized, I put a couple washers right there just so the handle doesn't go back and forth as much. It seems like there's a little excessive play in there in my opinion. So just threw a couple washers in there, good to go. Got this mounted up. Not super crazy how the shelf goes. It literally just sits on here. There's a bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, and then this literally just sits on here, which I feel like this isn't super duper solid here. So I'm gonna probably end up doing is drilling a couple holes through here, mount this solid to the wall. I'm gonna have to drill a couple holes into here to mount the pressure washer to it to keep it solid on here. And then hooking up the rest of the lines to the pressure washer, the reel, or the pressure washer hose itself. That's all to come probably tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see how time looks tomorrow, but that will be tomorrow. Welcome back, guys, to the hopefully final day of this project here. Final evening, I should say. Now, I just got the little shelf mounted up here. I've drilled holes, mounted it to the wall. Got my holes drilled right here for the pressure washer itself. The pressure washer, guy, is unbelievably heavy. I mean, I'm actually impressed how heavy it is. So hopefully everything holds up there. We got the solid sheet of plywood behind there, so everything's seen. I've already set it up there, kind of mocked everything up. It seems to be good. We'll see how it does long term. All right, so I just kind of flew through setting up all the hose. I didn't really film too much of that here on camera. Basically, there's a lot of Teflon tape right here. I've got all the connections. I didn't hook this all the way up yet. I'm kind of just trial fitting everything, make sure everything's good to go. I still have to, touch up the wall. I'm gonna paint everything here, so this is all gonna come. So this is kind of like a rough mock-up for the time being. Anyways, I think everything is fully hooked up now. We got all the lines, everything is up to here. This up into the pressure washer, out of the pressure washer into the hose, which will hook here into the hose reel. This is all hooked up in here. I'm actually using my 50-foot gray hose I've had for a while. I believe it's still good. So we're gonna try it out for this setup, and like I said, I'm gonna be washing right out here where all the washing's gonna happen, so really a 100-foot hose kind of defeats the purpose of washing my neighbor's cars down the street. But okay, so I'm a one-man show today, so I'm gonna pretty much pressurize everything, make sure there's no leaks, as long as everything's good to go. Turn on the pressure washer and hope for the best. We've got our first leak. And we've got another one right there, it looks like. There, and there, and there. That's not good. It is official, guys. We have now, well, not, I guess 100% complete, but almost official. We have got everything hooked up, no leaks, which is this has been quite the adventure, guys, trying to get everything set up here. Now, this is the biggest problem I had was up in here. Luckily, my old system I had this little brass connector, so for whatever reason, it seemed like this metal pressure washer hose to this metal quick disconnect right here. No matter how many times I put the Teflon tape, no Teflon tape, it did not matter. It still would leak every single time. Luckily, I think maybe I had this issue with the old one or something. This was years ago, but I had this old connector here. Actually, I had to change out the little O-ring in here. Everything is good now. There is no leaks, so it's a little bit longer and kind of like just how it is, but whatever. It's good. I'm happy with it. We got to roll this up. So you guys can see here, this is the gray hose. This is not the one that came here in the box. This is the 100-footer in here. Not using that, using the 50-footer because all the washing happens right out here. You can see it's all wet out there from testing everything out right now. Now I do have to say I am quite impressed with how quiet the pressure washer system is. Very happy about that. I knew it was kind of quiet from before I even started, but hearing it in person, it's nice to know how actually quiet it is. So I can literally probably wash cars out here late at night, and my one neighbor I have right next door to me, I don't think I'm gonna bug them. So that's a good thing. If I wanted to, not that I am gonna be washing cars late at night, but anyways guys, I'm gonna finish buttoning everything up here once everything is done and kind of looking a little bit more professional, minus the wall. I'll show you guys that, play around with it a little bit more, give you guys my final thoughts on everything, and we'll call it a video. Well guys, it is now complete, maybe not 100% complete, but almost there. Let me share with you guys the setup here. Now we have, so what's not complete is we have this super long cord that I still need to reroute. Also, the outlet was already here, I did not put that in. I may potentially relocate it up higher, kind of keep it a little bit neater looking. Maybe, maybe not, might just leave it. We'll see, more to come on that. Still have to do the sheetrock up top there. This is all gonna come down here in the next couple months, probably when I get around to doing some other stuff here in the shop. But for the time being, it's up, it's gonna work. We're gonna leave it how it is, but I have to remove it all to mud this in. Everything's gonna be textured in here and then painted a gloss white. I'll be covering more on the shop stuff here in a future video. Overall, the pressure washer setup, guys, I had a lot of little issues with leaks and custom stuff I had to do up here, which I had for my old unit. There's just a lot of stuff that was going on with this right here as far as everything. This was all straightforward. The piping here, everything cool, no problems, but I did have some leaks here I had to play around with here and here. And then back here I had to play with this little metal on metal for whatever reason, no matter how many times. And I went over this several times with Teflon tape, so I might have to talk to a plumber and see what I can do about getting around some of those little issues I'm having there with the Teflon. Got the holster mounted up here, guys. I'm gonna probably leave it in here. I know it's maybe not the prettiest, leaving it hanging like that, but it's easy just to grab, pull it out, and then start washing the car right here versus disconnecting and having to reconnect it every time. So, got my buckets down here. Got something I'm gonna be sharing with that here in a future video about the buckets, so be sure to stay tuned for that. So, that's about it for today's video, guys. I know it's probably a little bit more of a lengthier video than I typically do, but I kind of wanted to share if you guys maybe are thinking about getting this system right here or considering it. I know it's a bit pricey, but for me, I'm obsessed with like having the nicest, tools and equipment, and the Kranzel is, from my understanding, I'm not much experience with it yet. We'll be doing some, playing around with it over the next couple months and giving you guys my feedback on that. But from what I hear, it's a great unit, so I'm looking forward to playing around with it and seeing what it's really all about. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to smash that like button. If you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I'd really appreciate it. A lot more great videos coming your way, so be sure to stay tuned for those, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.